Do you know the Universal lot? Our stages are which is now the electrical department, just a big tin stage.
Did they have that big open-air platform stage?
Yeah.
With all the companies working at
Yeah.
the same time?
Yeah, that's right in back where the executive offices are now. It's a big outdoor stage, and then they finally covered it, and we did a lot of stuff in there with the Phantom. And did you see the second Phantom they made?
Oh, the 1943 one?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen it.
I had quite an argument with them when they made it. See, in the original Phantom, Lon was supposed to play this big pipe organ. Well, you know the sound effects you can get out of a pipe organ. You can tear the house down. The second Phantom, the guy played a little violin. Claude Rains played a violin. And in the original Phantom, Lon Chaney was supposed to try to get Mary Philbin in this big bed that was built like a swan. So what did they do on the second time they made the Phantom? Claude Rains was playing the fiddle to get money to give his daughter. It was the daughter that was in the show, to give her singing lessons. Now what the hell is that? They emasculated the thing right there. See, we built this Phantom stage. It's still standing out there. And there was this big stage in the audience. And then they had a balcony. We showed the people in the balcony and the audience in this big chandelier. You remember where the chandelier falls? And this Rupert Julian was screwy as hell. And when Lon Chaney cut the cables and the lights go out, the chandelier is supposed to fall in the darkness. Well, how the hell can you show something in the dark? So I took all the coupe-hoods I could find out there and I hung them up all over the top of the stage. Then I lit the set. And when the lights went out, everything went out but the coupe-hoods, which was a soft glow light. So we did a stop motion, the thing falling down on the people. People down there moved slow. I don't know, I think we turned it at 8 or 4 or something. You'd turn it by hand. There was no motors, and you just had to judge it. So we had a rehearsal, and the lights go out. With someplace around the lot, I had picked up a blue poker chip. We used to have a blue glass that we'd look through for contrast. You know, if you were doubtful of the contrast, you'd look through this blue, and the blue would cut the shadows down. And you could tell how much contrast you had because we had no light meters. And I had picked up this blue poker chip someplace, and I was tossing it up and catching it, something to do. And up at back of the Phantom stage, it went up a hill. And we set the camera on top of this hill, and we had it all covered in. It was all black up there. And the camera was sitting on a little low baby tripod. And we had a rehearsal, and Julian says, "You gonna have light on this scene?" I said, "Why?" He said, "I want it absolutely black." I said, "That'll be black." He said, "Let me see your blue glass." I gave him this blue poker chip, and he looked at it. He said, "Just what I want." Well, you know what they'd have done to me if I shot that thing in the dark and you couldn't see what happened, that chandelier falling?
One thing I don't understand. You had the set built,
You know?
theater and all that, and this was an open set? It wasn't enclosed?
No, it was a stage.
Well, what do you mean that you had that camera on the hill?
Well, see, it was built, for instance, up to this door.
Uh-huh.
See, the whole stage. And then from the door, it went up a hill. Now, we left this end open.
Oh, I see. The end of the building was open.
We left this end of this building open, and then we covered the whole thing over to the top of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
That was for ventilation.
I see.
And also, we knew that we had some long shots that we had to shoot from there. So when we built the stage, instead of building the whole thing out of tin the way they did, we just covered it with a tarp.
How did you get assigned that picture? How did you get assigned that picture?
Through Lon Chaney.
Through Chaney?
Yes. See, I was on the contract to Warner Brothers. I was doing all the Lubitsch pictures.
Uh-huh.
See, I did all the Lubitsch pictures for 9 years at Warner Brothers. And Lon called me, and I was between pictures. And Warner Brothers were tight for money. I was getting $350 a week, and they were getting about $1,500 for me, and I wasn't getting any of the overage at all. See, then when I finished The Phantom, I went back to Warner Brothers. I had to go on a Lubitsch picture, and they wanted to do some extra scenes, and I couldn't do it. The Phantom was a great picture to make, because the copy that you saw didn't have all of this stuff in it. They cut out an awful lot of stuff.
Could you tell me what kind of stuff they cut out?
Oh, I think there was some stuff with a horse coming down a ramp with a ladder with a great big shadow up on the back wall. I can't remember exactly what they cut out. I think some of the stuff where he walked under the water with his pipe. See, all the ballet was done in Technicolor.
Was it just the ballet in Technicolor?
Just the ballet was in Technicolor.
Because I've seen footage of Chaney coming down the stairs with his mask,
Yeah.
and that's in Technicolor.
That was all in Technicolor.
That's in Technicolor too.
He had the cloak that was all lined with red.
Mm-hmm.
It was very effective. You don't think that was something to do, especially with that guy Julian.
Did Technicolor send the cameraman over?
Yeah, he had a Technicolor. I was a cameraman, but they had a man called a technician, a fellow named Howard Estabrook. Was a great help, because I didn't know anything about color in those days. I used to make stills in color with, what the hell was that process? Some process where the film had to be developed and redeveloped, and I didn't know anything about Technicolor.
Tell me, in that Technicolor sequence, did that go as far as the episode where Chaney is on top of the opera with his cape blowing in the wind?
No, that was just the interior of the opera. The interior of the opera house with the crowd and the opera Faust. Part of the opera Faust.
Part of the opera was also in color?
Yeah, I'll never forget it. The ballet girls were dressed in pink against the green trees in the back.
They had a bit of trouble with that picture towards the end. They wanted to keep redoing it, changing some things, didn't they?
Not that I know of.
Well, you just told me that they wanted you to come back and work on it.
Well,
again, but
see,
you couldn't.
They wanted more chase scenes.
Uh-huh.
You know, where the crowd was chasing Chaney through the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did some, but we didn't do enough. And they wanted to add some scenes to it. That was all.
I understand they even had another director come in and do that.
Yeah, because Julian was taken sick at the time, I think, and Chaney wouldn't work with him anyway.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
They never got along. I was a messenger boy in the picture. The director would tell me to go in and tell Chaney to do this, and Chaney said, "Tell him to go screw himself. I'll do it the way I want to do it." And that went on the whole picture. I was just the interpreter between the two of them. You know, the picture never ran on Enger. You know why? I can't think of the guy's name. I think his name was Bader. I'm not sure now, Dave Bader. He went to the English government. He said he had a very valuable shipment coming in on a boat, and he wanted some guards to guard the film. So the English government sent a company of soldiers to guard this valuable shipment all the way to London on this special train they hired. And when they special equipment got to London, the company had a big truck. These soldiers are guarding this precious film, The Phantom of the Opera, and they never let them run the picture.